The guerrilla killer. During the 1990s, women in South Africa began disappearing. Their bodies were later found in remote sugarcane fields. The killer earned a terrifying nickname, the guerrilla killer. His real name was Sipho Thwala. He targeted women walking alone, pretending to offer help or transportation. Instead, he led them into isolated fields, where many were assaulted and murdered. For years, fear spread through entire communities. Women changed their daily routines, avoided walking alone, and disappeared before sunset. Eventually, DNA evidence connected him to the crimes. He was sentenced to hundreds of years in prison. The Alphabet Murders. In the early 1970s, 3 young girls were murdered in New York. At first, the cases seemed unrelated, until investigators noticed something impossible to ignore. Each girl's first and last name began with the same letter, and each body was discovered in a town beginning with that letter, too. Carmen Colon, Michelle Minza, Wanda Wakovich. The pattern terrified investigators. Was it coincidence? Or was the killer choosing victims deliberately? No one knows. The murders remain unsolved. The railway killer of India. Passengers boarded trains, expecting to reach home safely, but some never did. Mohan Kumar targeted women traveling alone. He befriended them, promised marriage, then convinced them to swallow what he claimed was birth control medicine. It was cyanide. After they died, he quietly stole their jewelry and disappeared before anyone noticed. For years, the deaths appeared natural until investigators realized the same pattern kept repeating. The Butcher of Mons. Between 1996 and 1997, plastic bags containing human body parts began appearing around the Belgian city of Mons. The victims were all women. Whoever killed them had carefully dismembered the bodies, removing anything that could make identification easier. Police searched forests, canals, and abandoned buildings. Years passed, then decades. The killer was never found. Even today, the Butcher of Mons remains one of Belgium's most chilling unsolved serial killer cases. The babysitter killer. In the 1970s, parents in Mexico trusted a quiet woman named Juana Barraza. She seemed caring, friendly, harmless. But many of the elderly women who trusted her were living alone. Barraza would often pose as a nurse or social worker, gaining their trust before entering their homes. Once inside, she would strangle them, then calmly leave with their money and valuables. For years, police searched for a man. They believed the killer had to be male because of the physical strength needed to overpower the victims. They were wrong. When Juana Barraza was finally arrested, authorities linked her to numerous murders, and many believed the true number of victims may have been even higher. The women thought they were letting someone trustworthy into their homes. Instead, they had opened the door to the person they should have feared most. The Cleveland torso murderer. During the 1930s, body parts began appearing across Cleveland, Ohio. The victims had all been decapitated. Many had also been dismembered with remarkable precision. The murders became so horrifying that the newspapers called the killer the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run. Even the famous lawman Eliot Ness, the man who helped bring down Al Capone, led the investigation. He failed. The killer vanished, and one of America's most disturbing murder mysteries remains unsolved. The Vampire of Dusseldorf. In the late 1920s, the city of Dusseldorf, Germany, was living in fear. Children, women, even complete strangers. Someone was attacking people without warning, sometimes with a knife, sometimes with a hammer. The attack seemed completely random. His name was Peter Kuit. The newspapers called him the Vampire of Dusseldorf. He often stabbed his victims over and over, later admitting he enjoyed causing fear and suffering. Some victims survived long enough to describe the man who attacked them. Others never made it home. Police received thousands of tips but couldn't identify the killer. It wasn't until one woman escaped an attack and helped identify him that Peter Kuit was finally arrested. When questioned, he calmly confessed to dozens of attacks, including multiple murders. During his execution, His reported final request shocked everyone. He asked whether he would be able to hear the sound of his own blood after the blade of the guillotine fell. Even today, he's remembered as one of Germany's most disturbing serial killers. The acid bath murderer. In the 1940s, a quiet man named John George Haig appeared perfectly ordinary, but behind closed doors, he believed he had found the perfect way to make bodies disappear. After murdering his victims, he dissolved them in large barrels filled with sulfuric acid. Days later, almost nothing remained. He believed that if there was no body, there could be no murder charge. For years, he continued killing wealthy people and stealing their money. But he made one mistake. A few tiny fragments survived the acid: gallstones, dentures, and pieces of bone. Those small remains were enough to expose him. His perfect crime wasn't perfect after all.